Hi everyone, welcome back to my book channel. I hope you're all having a great day so far. I have a little kitty cat guest here today. As you can see, I have some books to talk about today. I missed last week's upload because I was sick and still recovering, so if you can hear that, just ignore that. So today's video is my kind of like Booktok love versus hates, two different categories. So I have 5 books in each category and I thought I would go through and talk about why I like or dislike each of these Booktok books. Now I think I had the aim of this video that you kind of get to know my tastes. If you've come from my ASMR channel, then you'll know I do a lot of book ASMR over there, so you'll maybe know what I like and what I dislike. So for those of you who are just randomly finding me on YouTube, you will find out what I like and dislike. Some of these are going to be hot takes, maybe. I mean, there's people that love or hate every book out there, you know, everyone's got an opinion. So yeah, let's just get started. I have 2 ebook ones in here, 2 that I don't have physical copies, the rest are physical copies. But starting off strong, I'm going to start off with maybe my absolute least favourite out of all of my hates, and that is The Predator. I think this is by Rooney Eggs. I should have wrote down the authors on this sticky tab, but I didn't. So The Predator was one that I had saw a lot about online. Everyone recommended it, saying that this series was great, and I started this and was appalled. I was appalled. Why does nothing happen? And you know, I love a slow burn, okay? I like a bit of yearning. I like a bit of anticipation leading up. I don't like insta-love. That's not for me. However, this was a different level. They didn't even really speak to each other in this book. Why was there so much staring? They just look at each other. They just stare at each other. It's like a staring contest for 300 or 400, however many pages this is. And I've never been so excited to finish a book. And it dragged on, and nothing happened. Like, it was so boring. I've talked about this on my ASMR channel, like, whenever I read it, and I was so convinced that once I finished it, I was going to go to Goodreads, put in my rating, put in my dates, and then go and read the reviews, and everyone was going to be agreeing with me. Oh my god, everyone was rating this 5 stars. I can't see it. If you like this book, I beg of you to convince me why in the comments, because it just was not for me at all, like at all. So I like DNF'd the rest of the series, even though everyone was like, oh my god, the second book's even better. I was like, no, I am not putting myself through that. If this is what's to come, no, I've had enough. So The Predator, big no for me, and no, I'm not changing my mind on that one. Yeah, didn't like the characters, didn't like the plot, didn't like that there was so much staring. Weird. Okay, I'm gonna what am I gonna do next? Let's do Reckless by Elsie Silver. Let's just go through the stack. So this, I had saw so much about this Chestnut Springs. I think it's called Chestnut Springs. I think it is. Correct me if I'm wrong. This Chestnut Springs series, small town, cowboy, interlinked series of different couples in each books, but they're all kind of linked. Love it. Sign me up. Sounds great. This was the first look I had into this series. Now, another thing you should know about me and my reading is I hate reading things out of order. Hate it. Absolutely hate it. I like reading it chronologically. It irritates me. if I don't do it that way. Even with these kind of standalones, you know, you can read this and not read the rest of the series type of thing, I still like to read them in order, because the characters in this book, I've missed parts that we've learned about them in the previous books, and then characters that are introduced for me in this book, there's been whole books about them already, and I don't understand the character. You know, it doesn't work for me. So when I realised this was like book 3 of the series, I was like, oh no, I've made a mistake. But I'd already bought it, and I didn't want to pick up the first book of the series and then not like it, and then I had 2. So I decided to read it. And another thing, I'm a blurb hater. I don't like reading blurbs, especially on my Kindle. I very rarely will read the blurb to a book. I feel like it kind of ruins pieces of the story. I know it gives you an idea whether you should pick the book up or not, but with my Kindle, if I start reading it and I just don't like it, I can just put it back in the Kindle library, you know. But I will briefly read a physical copy blurb, but I don't finish it. It's kind of like a movie trailer. You know how sometimes you watch a movie trailer and you're like, okay, I've already saw the movie, I already know what happens. Why would I go and see the movie now? I don't read the full blurb. And do you want to find out what the last line of this blurb is? But that little plus sign is going to make this secret impossible to keep. That is a key point, that there is an unexpected pregnancy in this book, and that is my least favourite trope. That is my least favourite trope. So you can imagine my utter disbelief when I get into this book, and I'm like, ooh, this could be fun. Bam! She's pregnant. There's a baby on the way. I was like, no way. And then I went back and read the blurb and I was like, I'm an idiot. I'm such an idiot. So that is why I don't like this book, because it has one of my least favourite tropes. If you don't mind that trope, maybe you'll like this. I feel like I could like it if it's done well, but when I see people talking about that trope, they always say this is one of the ones that's done well, and I really didn't like it in this book. So yeah, I don't know. There's also a miscommunication trope in this, which is like huge, and I really hate that trope as well. So I think this just had a lot of things that I didn't like. And I don't know, everyone goes on about Theo Silva, the main guy in this, and I just couldn't connect. I don't know if I was already detached after the plus sign thing happened. I was like, okay, this is over. It's not happening. So yeah, I don't know. Even though I really didn't like this, I did go out and buy Flawless by Elsie Silver, and I loved this book way more than the third book. Reckless just wasn't for me. Flawless, yeah, I really liked this book. I did really like Flawless, but I didn't continue on with the series. I don't know. I feel like they can get kind of repetitive maybe, especially with like a small town romance. There's only so much I feel like that can change. So after I read this, I was kind of like, I think I'm happy to just leave it at that. But if you guys think that I should read the rest of this series, then tell me off in the comments and I will. So yeah, the Chestnut Spring series is just maybe not for me. I mean, I enjoyed Flawless, but Reckless, no. Like, actively no. So, next book we have is A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J Maas. If you know me, you know I love Sarah J Maas. I love her books. She is amazing at creating stories. My favourite series of all time, Throne of Glass, is a masterpiece in my opinion. This, no. I wanted to love this so much. I wanted to so badly. But this was just not for me. I feel like this is for me. No. I struggled to get through this, and I really, really looked forward to this book, because this was the book that I saw everywhere everyone talking about this in the series when I was first getting into ACOTAR. When I first bought ACOTAR, this was the book that was all over all of my social media, everyone raving about this. So I had a like rose tinted view of this book, and then only after I kind of heard some opinions that I realised this is very split. People either love it or hate it, and I hate to say this is not for me. This is maybe like, I'd need to reread it because I read it like last year at some point, but I might even like ACOTAR more than this. Maybe just for the pure length of this, that there was a lot more to dislike than with the first book. I don't know, I just felt like I really struggled to get into the story, and I felt like Nesta, I wanted to understand her, but I really struggled to understand her. And then at a certain point, I was like, oh my god, I'm starting to understand her. But I felt like it was too late at that point. And then at that point, there was so many other things going on in the story that it kind of overshadowed her moment. I just have a lot of grudges with this book, and it really frustrated me. I know Farah is not a perfect main character. I'm not saying she is. She definitely has her flaws, but girl done everything she could to try and help her family, especially when they were literally starving. And yet Nesta loves Elaine and has this weird hatred towards Farah. Really irked me, really irked me all throughout the book. It just frustrated me because I didn't understand what her issue was. And, you know, I'm not saying that Farah is an angel, but it just really threw me off how horrible she was to her. It was really not nice to witness. So I also feel like Cassian and Nesta in this book felt kind of forced to me, and I don't know, I just didn't really enjoy it. And yeah, I felt like Cassian felt like a whole different character in this. He didn't feel like he did in the previous books. I don't know, it felt different, and I just didn't really enjoy it as much as I wanted to. Still is like an alright book, and I will be rereading the full series before I read the next book whenever that comes out. I don't know when that will ever be, but yeah, this just wasn't for me. So after that, that maybe some of you will really dislike me saying that, I'm going to talk about this. Now, Icebreaker, I tabbed this book. Very satisfying tabbing there. I love when the colours match. However, I thought at the time this was a really fun sports romance. I've read more sports romance since. This is not it. Looking back, the characters, it just fell kind of flat for me. It was like a fun time to read at the time, but I read this when I was kind of getting into this genre of books, so I didn't really have much to compare it to. And now that I've read more books like this, I'm like, oh yeah, that's not the one for me. I haven't actually read anything else by Hannah Grace, but I think she's got another book called Wildfire that's kind of in the same genre as this. I don't know, I think it's something to do with camps or something. I don't know. You can tell I'm really interested in reading that book. But yeah, this was a good time at some points, but other points just wasn't for me, and I won't be rereading this. So I feel like that's honestly enough said about that one. The next book though, Twisted Love. I tabbed this. Very satisfying. But I hated this book so much. The writing was just not for me. I just couldn't get into it. I couldn't enjoy the characters. I couldn't enjoy the story. He sings, and I have never gotten over that. And every time someone reminds me of that fact on social media, part of like my soul shrivels and cringes. I couldn't. I couldn't. But I know so many people love this series, so if it's for you, I'm happy for you. I'm so happy for you. But I could not get into this. I've not read anything else by Anna Huang since, and I don't know if I will. I just don't think her writing is for me, and that's okay. Not everyone is gonna love every book out there, and this is a great example of that. I had such high hopes for this. I see people raving about it non-stop, and I really wanted to read Twisted Games, which is the second one, with like a bodyguard royalty type of situation. Thought that sounded really fun. After reading this, I decided I'm not going to be continuing the series. It is just not for me. Yeah. So that's that. I didn't like this, and I have 2 copies of this. Two copies, because I didn't realise at the time I had one, and I bought a second one just to read it and realise I really don't like this book. Really sad. Really sad. So that is my dislike pile. I feel like hate is a strong word, you know. I feel bad because this is, you know, it's a bit brutally honest, but that is the hate pile. Moving on to the love pile. I am going to talk about this book, seeing as you can see it, before I talk about my one ebook. So this is Verity by Colleen Hoover. This is the only Colleen Hoover book I've read, and it is so good. This is so much fun, and it kind of makes me sad that she doesn't do more like this. I have had a kind of glimpse into some of her other works, and I won't be heading down that lane. It starts with us, it ends with us. I didn't even watch the movie. It is not for me. Saw enough, and I don't want to go down that path, so it ends there. It ends with this, is what it ends with. Verity was so good. I loved this book. I loved this so much. This has a bit of everything. It has a bit of romance, it has that suspense, creepy, eerie element, and it has that psychological thriller element. It's just so good. It is so good. And I will always recommend this to people if they are looking to kind of read something fun and gripping. Such a fun story, such a fun setting, and it really plays mind games with you. It's so much fun. So, yeah. I cannot recommend Verity enough. It is so good. And the ending, controversial as it is, I really love it because it's still, to this day, it churns my mind, you know. I think about it all the time, and it's so good. That is exactly what a book should do. So yeah, Verity, so good. So the ebook I chose for my love category is Cruel Prince. The entire Cruel Prince series was so good. I read it for the first time last year, and it's amazing. It is such a good series. And yeah, I can't believe I actually took so long to read it. I feel like I would have gotten into fantasy far earlier in my life if I had read this back then. And yeah, it's just so much fun. The fantasy world that is created in this, top tier. It is so good. And I really like that it's heavy on the fantasy and the romance is a subplot. However, at times, I love Jude. Jude is one of my favourite female main characters from any book I've ever read. Her, Aileen, Manon, they're my tops. Like, I love them so much. And yeah, Jude has something special. Yeah. I really, really loved Jude, and then I also really, really loved Carden. So it did kind of, I craved more of that romance because I really enjoyed both of them together, and it is a true enemies to lovers type of situation. Even when they're lovers, they're kind of still at each other's throat. It's great. It is so good. But yeah, Crow Prince it's so top tier. It is so top tier. And just all around a really fun series to read. So I'm glad that I read that. The next book I have on my list is Powerless, because I loved Powerless so much. I need to read on for the rest of the series. This is the only book I've read in the series just yet. I have the novella type of book that comes after this. I think it's called Powerful, which I'm super excited to read. It's on my shelf over there. I just want to reread this and then read on throughout the rest of the series. I need a refresher. I read this early last year, and I just loved it. I love that kind of slow burn banter that goes on in here, and I was quite surprised to see a lot of people didn't like the characters in this book. I really enjoyed the characters, and it has one of my favourite storylines ever, which is trials and challenges. I love that. I love the action and the element of the kind of unknown and the Hunger Games divergent kind of thing. That is a bit of me, so that's why I love Powerless. Also why I'm very curious what happens in the next few books. I actually can't believe the cliffhanger that this is left off on, and that I've not read on yet. But because I was reading Throne of Glass, that was the only fantasy series I was reading, so yeah. I put this on the back burner, but I'm really, really excited to get back into this series. Some great characters in here, and I'm excited to see where the story goes. So, that brings us to a very controversial book. This is Credence by Penelope Douglas. I kid you not, guys, I love this book. I love this book. It is gold. It is gold. I know this is taboo. This is not going to be for everyone. I fully understand that. But this is amazing. Like, I really love Credence, and I know there are people out there that are like me that really, really enjoyed this book, but then there's other people that absolutely hated it, could not finish it. So it's definitely another one of those that's kind of towing the line between love and hate. But for me, guys, I've reread this like 3 times. I love this book. Yeah, it's crazy, and it is taboo, and it's definitely not for everyone, but this is like a book that I will never stop rereading. It's become kind of like a comfort book, a bit like Twilight. I think that's kind of why I love this. The Colorado setting, the snowed in cabin in the woods type of thing, it is amazing. It's everything, all those Twilight vibes that I love in here, in a different world with some cool characters. Yeah, I loved this, and there's a reason I go back and reread it all the time, because it's so good. It's so good. It's also a really nice floppy book, which I love. I love a floppy book. It's just nice to read, you know? And however, I was thinking, if this was set in a beach town environment, I don't think I would like it. I think the element of being out in the wilderness and their environment and the vibes that are out there, I love that, and it adds to that element in the story that just makes it so, so good, that I think if you took that away and put me on the beach, I would not enjoy it as much. So yeah, I do feel a bit guilty. This is my guilty pleasure, but it's good fun. It is good fun. I know a lot of people are not going to agree with that. But the last book I have here is Fourth Wing. This is the last one on my love category. Love this so much. I will say, wow, look at that map. I will say I read this in line with Iron Flame's release. I have Iron Flame over on that bookshelf, as you can see, and I didn't read it immediately after. I kind of wanted to give myself a breather because I knew I'd read Iron Flame and then I would be craving even more, and that had just come out, so I was like, I'll put it off, and here we are. Onyx Storm it's been out for a while now, and I've not read Iron Flame or Onyx Storm. Sorry. But I really loved Fourth Wing when I did read it, and I can't wait, now that I've finished Throne of Glass, to read the rest of the series. I just need to reread this. So I have a few of my tops in here that I've actually not continued the series, but these books, I love them. I love the dragons in this. I love the challenges that Violet faces. I love that kind of trial, like, challenge element that's added. But the dragons in this are amazing. The way that they're written and communicated and the characters are built, so good. So good. And I was really addicted to this. I really like the magic system that's in here as well. So yeah, so many nails were hit on the head. Really, really loved this book. And I completely understand why everyone raves about this and goes crazy. I know a lot of people are like, well, it's really overrated, but there's a reason that people love this book, because it is really, really good. I also really liked Xaden's character in this and the kind of unknown that his character brings. I really love a little bit of an underdog story. I know it kind of is ripped apart when it comes to Violet, but you know what? I like it. It reads well for me, so I enjoy it. The only thing I would probably say about this is that it did take me a while to get through. I don't think it's that big of a book. It's like 450 odd pages. I did take a while to read this, but I think that was just because I wasn't really familiar with Rebecca Yarros's work, so I was getting used to her writing style. But I think she has a really lovely way of writing, so yeah, very enjoyable for me, and I'm super excited to go back into this world. I'm kind of giving myself a breather since Throne of Glass. I did read a fantasy book right after I finished it, and I kind of regret that, so I'm kind of stepping back, taking a little bit of a breather. But yeah, this is going to be reread soon. So here are some of my love and hates of Booktok. Let me know down below if you agree, if you disagree with my takes, and yeah, I feel like all of these are valid, and I've saw plenty of other creators who agree with the takes I've said, some who disagree and agree with certain things. Yeah, I think there are reasons to love the books that I hate, but they're just not for me, and that's okay. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and maybe you learned a bit about my reading taste, whether or not we have similar tastes. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down below if you have any videos that you would like to see on this channel. I plan on doing a 24-hour readathon soon. Maybe I'll film that next week. And I also recently got it's like Binding 13, I can't remember what the series is called, Boys of something, I think it's the school name. I got that recently and I've not read any of those books, so maybe I'll do like a reading vlog reading that series if you guys would like that. I'm super excited about reading that. I've heard really good things. So yeah, let me know if you have any videos that you would like to see on this channel. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you haven't already, you should subscribe and follow along because this is my new channel. But yeah, that's enough book rambles from me. I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys!